These black country blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
Having it's the Black Country Blokes Chewing the Fat, here with me, Kev Dillon, and as always, my partner in crime, me, Catherine. And today, well, there we go. We're the 6th, so 19 days away from Christmas. And I'm looking forward to breaking up from here. We shut down the evening classes next Wednesday, and then the last couple of day sessions, so we break up the 16th. And then obviously we've got Kevin's to look forward to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But there's a lot of people out there who haven't got loved ones and families, and we're going to talk about all that in a little bit. But as always, we're going to start with our gratitude list. My gratitude list is mum and dad have been on their holiday and having them back. My mum does so much for me, you know, bringing me up here and back here, and it's amazing. I was grateful as well, like Josh, one of my coaches, my mother-in-law was helping us out, because it is difficult when you have to get taxis and getting up here. You're doing so much for sod all, and then when it's costing you, it just takes the love out of it, doesn't it? You know, when you're struggling to get up here in the cold anyway, and it's costing you money, it's tough. Yeah, I'm grateful for the people around me who do so much for me, but they're being asked. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful that we have all had colds before Christmas, Kev, before Christmas Day. We've all been suffering with colds over the last week or 2 weeks, but we've all got through it now and are on the other side. So hopefully we have a Christmas Day without any illness, which would be really nice.
Having good health at Christmas, isn't it? 'Cause last few years we've all had COVID, or somebody's gone through and it's knocked us off our feet. And it's hard to think, you know, like only 12 months ago, I thought we were going into another lockdown. We had like the 5 days of purge where everyone's let to do what they wanted, and I was convinced. And like,
was that last year?
Yeah, last year. Do you think we had 2020, the year? 2021 last year, we were thinking, are we going to be in lockdown? Aren't we going to be in lockdown? And if you think that last year we're only in a lockdown in the March, but the whole year it was, oh, we're going back into one. The numbers are cropping. And then this year it's like it's never happened, isn't it? And whether if you thought it was loads of rubbish or whatever, it was very real to us at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and especially running a boxing club and business, and isolating with your family on the vulnerable list, and it's mad. Those 2 years, those 2 Christmases, it's all I want for Christmas is to see my mum. All I want for Christmas is to see my nan. All I want is to have us all in the same house. And then back this year, it's all I want for Christmas is a £2,000 phone. And it's amazing how the human memory doesn't hang on to it for very long, isn't it? That's like when you're sick, or it's like, all I want is my loved ones, and now it's want. And with all the bills going up, from your shopping bills to your heating bills to your water bills, and people still want, don't they?
Yeah. But it does. I think the last 2 Christmases where it has been over a half lockdown or whatever you want. Is it 2 Christmases? I get so confused with COVID now. Is it 2 or 3? We lost to. Isn't it 2? Wasn't it? We lost to COVID. But we were allowed for the 5 days, as you say, where you could mix, couldn't you? But a lot of people didn't, did they? Because obviously the risk was still around. But that, I think everyone felt a bit of that loneliness then as well, didn't they? Because you couldn't be near your family and you couldn't be, you know, as you usually would at Christmas. But it's going to be worse this year because people are now going to be able to get out and about. And for people who haven't got anyone around Christmas time, it must be horrible, and to be in that situation, watching everyone else kind of happy and joyful, but you feel lonely.
I think it's give people a taste of loneliness. Some people, very social people like me, I see roughly 100 people a day or whatever for up here. But then when you look at this, and I had my wife and my daughter and my neighbour over the fence, you know what I mean? But I felt very isolated, and I had my family with me. And I think it's give everyone a big taste of it. And those people, and some people, you know, haven't got over COVID. They still don't go to the shops. And I think, especially older you get, your muscles shrink and you less you do, less you want to do. And some people just haven't got over the boom of it, have they?
No, definitely. I think people still have anxiety about going out, especially the older people. Like with my job, I go around quite a few older people's house or the visitors in the shop, and I can't, like, we've been open, our shop, mobility shop's been open since July, and I couldn't tell you the amount of elderly people we've had come in who've literally turned around and said, this is the first time I've been out since it all started. You know, this is or you know, I've only started coming out in the last week, and you just think COVID seems like such a distant memory, doesn't it now? Really, but it's only last year, and people are still got the anxiety about going out around it.
But them days of purge, you know, when it was, oh, you can do what you want. I was going, well, I remember my daughter was going back to school, and I said, well, we haven't seen Grandma. We haven't seen my mum and dad, Nanny and Granddad. They're thinking, but everyone's good. And you think, well, we've sacrificed because my family was on the vulnerable list, on the shelter list and all that. And you're thinking, and it was hard decisions. And it's easy for people to look back with hindsight to go, well, I told you it was a load of rubbish. When you've got vulnerable people in your circle, you're worried about making a mistake, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, who am I talking to? Like, with someone like yourself, and we were saying, like, you pulled your kid out early, and it's very easy for people to say, well, because, well, open up your club, fight the power. You go, if I had a £10,000 fine, we just wouldn't have reopened.
No.
And that's the line's done and gone. You know what I mean? It's so for a pure gym and these people to go, yeah, we've got loads of money. We haven't. We're a family-run, volunteer-based boxing club.
Yeah.
And then when you're messing with people's lives, but that's one dimension of it. But then you've got people like at Christmas when you've just lost your mom, or you've just lost your dad, or you've just got divorced, or your dog's just passed away. Around the holidays, we do tend to miss people more, don't we?
Well, and some people's experience growing up around Christmas is not great, is it?
No.
You know, it's just that they might have had abusive parents or something like that. Nice. It's just not. It's not like a happy time for some. And again, you're watching everyone else kind of be joyful and happy, and you want to feel that yourself, don't you? You want to be within that club as such. So it can be a really hard time for people. But there is people out there helping. They're doing. I have to remember the name. I'll put the name in the link. But they're doing. I know on Twitter they're doing like a live get together, so you don't actually have to leave your sofa as such, but you can be around people and be chatting with people.
Like a webcam.
Yeah, like a webcam. I can't think of the names, Kev. As usual, my memory's not great. But I'll put links in there. And I know there's a lot of the food banks and that doing Christmas dinners and that. So again, the Black Country's stepping up and helping these people who are homeless, lonely, and that kind of thing.
And we're still collecting for We Love Carers. Got a fair few bags now. We're raising toys, books, comics, games, bits and bobs for We Love Carers. And we had Rachel on the other week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Great episodes to listen back to it. But they are raising those things I've just said for disabled children and the siblings of the children. Some things will be auctioned off and they'll raise money for trips and equipment. Some stuff will go as presents. Some things will go as a toy library where they can keep sharing and playing. Once again, so proud of why we did this, to get these wonderful organisations on, because you don't hear about them, do you?
No. It was a fascinating conversation, wasn't it, Kevin? Doing great things. So their plan is to drive a bus van. I don't know what vehicle, to be honest, but drive it around to people with disabilities and their families and have a toy library, so you can go in there and pick the toys you want for that amount of time, and then you return them at the end and pick some new ones. And that's fantastic. Especially everyone's going to be feeling the pinch, aren't they? This Christmas more than kind of ever. It's been, it's just, we've gone on about the cost of living, haven't we, quite a bit? But it is scary times in terms of that, isn't it? And it's, but again, hopefully, Kev, because a lot of people are in that boat, it's going to go back to like in the lockdown, where people just appreciated being around other people. Hopefully it turns it to more that, saying, well, actually we can't afford as much as we used to, but at least we got family and friends round.
I think our children have done brilliantly.
Plus, if you all go around Nan's house, there's only one heating bill for that day.
Yeah, it's not bad. But back in the day, I was talking about this the other day, saying if it was cold, you didn't go out. You know, if you had no money, you stayed in.
Yeah.
But if you think, well, I can't even stay in my house, so maybe, you know, invite someone around and get them around for a couple of cans or a cup of coffee.
I'm waiting for my invite, to be honest, Kev. Not you. I'll see enough of you.
I like with these presents, it's amazing me because some people, like myself, are bringing some of my daughter's old toys in. Some people have purposely gone out and bought brand new toys.
Mm.
I thought, you know, we give what we can when we can.
Yeah.
And I'm always amazed how much people do give. And I think giving time this time. So if you do know someone's on their own, offer to make them a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your next door neighbour, an old pal, or pop around for a brew, pop around for a sandwich. Just reach out to folks.
Yeah.
And what bit of advice would you give people if they are? What would you say? A bit of advice?
I think you've just give it, to be honest. Just reach out to folks. And that goes for both sides, doesn't it? If you're feeling lonely, reach out for someone. But it also, if you can see someone's struggling or you know someone lives on their own, reach out to them. It works both ways.
Do stuff that makes you happy. If you sit in the house and you're feeling down, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go out. You haven't got to stay in. Because once again, touch wood, we're not in a lockdown.
And it's cold in your house now as it is outside, so you might as well go out.
Stretch your legs.
Yeah.
Get out. If you want to go see a friend. If you want to stay in and watch a movie, buy a movie, watch a movie, rent a movie, lend a movie. You know your medicine, and we've said from the start, find your medicine. If you enjoy listening to music, it hasn't got to be Michael Bublé. If you want to listen to Slipknot, if you want to listen to Prodigy, find something that makes you happy, whether it's listening, seeing, doing. If there's a photo of your dog and your dog's just passed away, it's upsetting you, take it down for a bit.
Yeah.
And I've been at sometimes, like you'll have someone, my dad, or every time I walk past you, I start crying. Take them down for a bit. Find something. You know, it's your journey.
Yeah.
You know, whether you never put that photo back up, whether you just have to take it down for a little bit, maybe eventually you'll start missing looking at the photo. But you know you better than anyone else. And be aware of something that if it is making you happy or if it's making you sad, be aware of it. And then once we start being aware of something, then we can change it for the better or for the worse.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest struggles, isn't it? Really, within yourself, is realizing what feeling's going on and why that's going on. If you know what I mean. So it's great saying be aware of it, but you've got to be able to be aware of it, haven't you? Because sometimes you're not aware of what's in front of you. No,
once again, I'm lucky because I spent so long on my journey in my early 20s doing therapy, and it's am I starting to feel like that again, or why am I starting to feel like this? And I think it's
I think the older you get, the more you stop and think about it. Whereas when you're a younger age and inexperienced with mental health, you don't stop and think about it. You just think you're just in that depression, aren't you, or in that sad state, or in that anxiety. You don't stop and think what caused it. You're just in it.
Well, Vicky, who came on the other week, a dietitian, we had her on the radio, so hopefully we can get that episode put on the podcast. I was so fascinated, like, why do I fancy some chocolate? Why do I fancy some beer? And sometimes it's like, well, I'm craving sugar.
Yeah.
I'm craving carbs. I'm craving, and it's amazing isn't it, how we associate with things. And we think, oh, well, I'm gagging for a beer, but it could be I'm gagging for a bit of sugar. And I was talking to
some water. I'm thirsty, and
an ex-alcoholic. He goes, once you go off the booze, he found he was eating sugar because if you think like you're having 8 cans or a couple of bottles of wine, your body's used to having a lot of sugar at the end of the day. So he goes, when I first come off everything, I was eating a lot of sugar. And you think, oh, blooming heck, because your brain is responding to the fix of the sugar.
Well, you know, sugar's a big thing, isn't it? I think sugar is probably can be as addictive to some people as smoking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've done it quite often when I've been boxing and gone on a diet. So you cut out all sugar, and you do get days of feeling groggy until that's out your system, as if you're weaning off it.
Isn't it funny though?
Yeah.
Was learning, and we think, so I don't have that much. I just have a couple of coffees, and with each coffee I have 2 sugars, or I have one of them posh coffees, a Costa or a Starbucks, and you think, well, they're loaded with it. And it's amazing, you know, how much sugar creeps into other stuff.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, we're at Christmas now, so
it's definitely creeping in there.
we're going to be having, you know, children having advent calendars because my daughter can only. on the school day, she doesn't have a treat before school, or on the weekend she can have a treat after 9 o'clock. We set these rules, but around this time you're waking up, having
getting that's it. Getting the celebrations out.
but that's part and parcel of it,
It is,
isn't it?
definitely.
And I think now's not the time to feel guilty about that. Let's hopefully, touch wood, we're going to have a fairly normal Christmas for, for us too.
Yeah.
In particular, some people are going to suffer. But touch wood, we're going to have a lovely Christmas where we can, if you want to pop around, you can pop around. If your mum wants to come around for dinner, you can. If someone gets poorly, we can sit by the bed. You know what I mean? It's going to be a Christmas of however.
Yeah.
And if having a couple of bevies and having a couple of chockies and having a couple of takeaways and enjoy it.
Yeah.
If we can enjoy it.
Definitely.
If you're aware of someone who's not enjoying it, try and bring a bit.
Force them to.
Yeah, try and bring a bit of light to their cave.
Yeah.
And the best light is love. And that sounds cheesy, but just by allowing.
Where you robbed that off, Kev?
Well, that's a Kevin Dillon.
Is that a Kevin Dillon one?
But the best thing is just allowing someone to realise that you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fingers crossed. But it's getting bloody cold.
Well, you know what? Funny enough, Steve Ansel's messaging saying, even gents loving the winter beers, you're both sporting. This is pure laziness. This is pure laziness. And Sophie Wardell's messaging from Higgs. Hey, so we'll be with you. Hopefully you're there next week when we come next Wednesday.
Lee was going to turn up tomorrow.
I was. I'd have been the only one at that Christmas party. Well, I wouldn't. I'd have brought Calla as well. So anyway,
well, Higgs, what great things they've done, and
massive supporters of us, aren't they? And
backing people and communities in the Black Country. And, massive thank you. They did the hype for us. They've done bits and bobs, and it's helping, and that's what's helping us now. We've finally had a couple of epiphanies, haven't we?
Yeah, it's only took over a year.
We said if people are going to give us money,
donate us money. I think
we don't want to just do something soft.
Yeah,
we wanted to, and then
we're very conscious about how we spend the money that people have donated. Basically, we don't, it's very easy to waste money, isn't it? And we certainly didn't want to do that when it's donations, especially in the hard times that people are going through now. We wanted to use the money sensibly.
And I don't know if we've announced it, but you're going to be doing a call, at least 1 to 2 courses, aren't you?
So I'm doing Sen Law level 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully, I'll be starting that over the Christmas period, which will enable me to help children who need EHCPs, educational plans, things along that line. And another one, hopefully, I'm still waiting for details on it, to help people with disabilities with things like PIP and that sort of thing. So hopefully there's a couple of things we can help people out with. Because that's what we're about, and it really kept just giving back and helping, and we're both very passionate about helping people who are more disadvantaged, and disabled certainly fall under that category.
And the carers,
and not just for their disabilities, for the pain they have to go through in filling out paperwork and fighting for the rights of their child or themselves.
Once again, if you haven't listened to Rachel's when we were saying about the carers allowance, it's so tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
And once again, at Christmas, with everything going on, your presents, your chockies, your meat, your decorations, having the lights on, and the bills all keep stacking up. And then when you're a carer, you have to pack up your job, and you're on your £69 a week, no matter how many disabled people are in the house. It's tough. I just can't believe that hasn't gone up. And there's no.
Well, it is actually in April. It's going up to
70,
74, I think, off the top of my head. Yeah, 74, I think it is, or maybe just over. I can't think now. But yeah, so it is going up in April. Not quite in line with inflation, but better than the usual pound.
I do think at the minute, with social media and everything, I won't talk on too much, but there's so much smoke and mirrors at the minute saying, look over here, look over there, look at the. And I'm thinking, how many carers are in the United Kingdom? Why aren't the carers all standing together and kicking off? Well, They don't, do they?
Because you know what, Kev, they're too busy.
Yeah.
Number one, caring, and number two, fighting the system.
Yeah.
You know, it's as simple as that. It's
Phoning
absolutely
up
simple as that.
people.
Yeah.
Get no answers.
There's no time in the day as it is without starting that. And there is people who do it, to be honest, Kev. It's just not like there was a speech that an MP brought up. I think it might have been, it was either yesterday or today, and I can't remember the MP's name, but she brought up about Kate Winslet paying £17,000 for a family's energy bill who needed it to keep their daughter on oxygen and all her equipment to keep her alive, basically. And she brought it up in the House of Commons, and there must have only been 10 people in there. And that's what they think of the disabled, really. No one turned up for it, basically. So, you know, that shows the state of it to me. You know, if people aren't turning up for the people in society who need the most help, then what hope we got?
And what can the carers do? They can't strike, can they? They'll sod you up.
No.
Down with tools, just
No.
deal with it.
No, that's it, exactly. How do you do that? But there is people worrying now with children, especially with disability, because of the electric bill, that they're going to have to put their children into care because they can't afford to maintain the machines. What a hopeless situation.
What a hopeless situation.
It's scary. Luckily we're not in that position. Although although our bills are higher than, say, your bills, for instance, it's not to that point of £17,000, not even close. But imagine getting that bill on your doorstep just to keep your daughter alive. It's disgraceful.
People have got to answer for them, haven't they?
People
Christmas,
don't. That's the
spring,
flaw.
Winter, whatever.
Mm-mm.
You've got to be there going, no, we've got to have an allowance for this.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. You're not fiddling. It's not like when they've turned away, kind of jumps out of a wheelchair and skips off
Off down the road, yeah.
You know,
that's it.
you think, well, let's use sense here.
Yeah.
I know common sense died with common decency, but you know, you've got to have a look and thinking, this isn't. I don't know. Use common sense.
I may try. I need to get a second monitor in here, Kev, so I can search stuff on the other monitor. Let's see if I can find that speech. If Kev can just talk a bit, I'll have a look. See if we can find it and bring it up. And you can. It's actually a really good speech he does, but it falls on very few ears. And hopefully, though, it gets shared a lot on social media, because hopefully then people will see it.
We need people talking on behalf of it, don't we? It'd be interesting to see if this MP's got any disability within her family.
She may have, or there may be someone in her. It might be that lady who required the money off Kate Winslet was in her constituency. I don't know. I really don't know the background of it. It was something I just saw today. It was brought up. But yeah, it's
The Kate Winslets of the world doing that is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't do that for everyone, can she?
No.
There's just not enough. As much as she'd probably like to do that for everyone, there's just, she hasn't got the money to be doing that, has she?
Well, we've got statistics here. Blooming heck, when we were on the radio the other day, there was a leaflet on that. And was it over 100,000 children in the Black Country are in poverty?
I can't remember. Yeah, I remember the leaflet, but
well, you're reading it from Warsaw to Dudley.
Yeah.
And when you're reading
it might be more than that, Kevin. It may be.
Like 60,000.
It was a lot of people, wasn't it?
We neither of us could get over it, could we?
No.
And that wasn't even disabled. That was just in general. Children are in poverty in the Black Country, not even in the Midlands.
Yeah,
not even in
it's
the
frightening,
West
wasn't it?
Midlands.
Yeah,
the Black Country.
It's absolutely frightening, the amount. Now, I might be searching forever here. So
if you find the link, you can put it on our Facebook.
Yeah, I'll put it on there because it's as I say, it's a great speech, but there was not enough people in there to listen to it. So I do hope it gets shared throughout social media to hopefully highlight a bit of the plight. But again, in truth, there's a lot of people on social media now telling people what's kind of going on, and it's still no one's listening. So
but I do think the great British public, it's like me and you go for a meal and how's your steak? Oh, it's terrible. They're burnt it, the chips are cold, it's vile. I'll never come back here. It's the worst meal I've ever had. The waiter comes up, how is it? Oh, it's lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
We love mowing at one another, but we never pursue it to make changes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to. We need to be there. Going, oh, these people are striking now, and people are going, but we need action now.
Yeah.
We need to put them tools. We need to go. This isn't right. Not with violent protests, not with riots, but we need someone to go. We can't afford anymore. We ain't doing it.
Yeah.
We need action. It'll be inconvenient. It'll be awkward, but we need action because we're getting the wrong end of the stick here. We're suffering as a people. We need changes, and what we need to realise is the people are the government. You know, without us, the country can't run. So we need to be saying no more.
Well, that's the idea of the strikes, isn't it? To say no more. This isn't good enough, and yeah, they just need supporting in what they're doing because they do. If it's for everyone, you know, it's not just for the people strike. The people who striking, they don't get paid. Now the companies like the railway, when these go on strike, they get subsidies to pay for them to be on strike. So the ones just receive £30 million because the one rail company £30 million because people are striking. So they don't lose any money. They don't lose money from it. The only people who lose are the people who are actually striking, and they're trying to do it to better everyone's position, not just the people who are already rich.
It's a tough time to strike. You know, it is inconveniencing us, but I need money at Christmas to pay for, you know, my bills.
Yeah,
it's tough for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I really do. I feel for them, and but we definitely, the Black Country Blokes, support the rail, support the Royal Mail, support the nurses and the ambulances, and
it's funny, you know, once again back to COVID, we were all out there Thursday clapping and eating napkins and God bless you. It wasn't just NHS, it was essential workers.
Yeah.
Your people who worked in your supermarkets, your teachers, your binman. My mate was a binman and one of my best friends in the world. He says, Kev, it's weird, you know, they're not telling me to F off. They're bringing me cakes. Some people are even bringing me cans, you know, saying, thank you, God bless you, keeping us safe. And now they're on strike. Well, you think, well, it was only last year to 2 years ago that these were the saints. These were angels walking amongst us.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, them rail. Oh, how brave they are going there without any PPE, no masks. These nurses, cleaners, teachers, dustbin men, tarmackers. And now they're parasites because they weren't paying a fair wage.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, who in our country doesn't want nurses to use food banks?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get my head around it, to be honest, Kev, that a group of our society are that important to us, and people are happy with them using food banks.
These same people who sacrificed seeing their families,
yeah,
moved there to home. One of my boxers, Sam Johnson, who's been on the radio, physio, he had to move out because his mum had asthma, had to move out, went to move into Wellington down the road. And people make these big, tough decisions only last year, maybe the year before, and then they're struggling now.
Mm.
It's very short-term memory.
Well, I think the flaw is as well, it's been a long, hard struggle because it's been going on for probably at least the last 7 years, hasn't it? It's not something that's been brought around recently. It's got worse recently because of the cost of living. But, you know, their wages haven't gone up in a long time. And every year you just have less and less to spend. And ultimately, giving them a pay rise, okay, it takes more money out, but that money gets spent. You know, you're not talking people are going to be saving it. No, it's going to get spent because they still need food and clothes and all that's gone up. So
stuff like you're shopping. Okay, went to get some kitchen roll. It's normally £3.50, now it's £7. That's a kitchen roll. And everything is going up. They haven't got to buy 20, but sometimes I've doubled.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that is on our shop. Sometimes you go in, you spend a fortune, you go, but I haven't got any meat. I've got odds and sods.
Yeah.
And it's come to £100 plus, and you're thinking, well, but we haven't got any meals.
Yeah.
You know, that's not luxuries. That's not your booze or your cigarettes or
your bread and your milk and your
cereal,
your washing powder. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're thinking, blooming heck.
That's right.
So look, guys out there, Father Christmas can't bring everything this year. So let's think about having smaller things, more meaningful things. Because something, your games will come and go, your clothes, you'll let them grow, they'll get ripped. Let's have meaningful gifts, let's have family time, let's have board games, let's have chats, let's have quality time. Let's use time as a currency. And money will come and go, but this currency of time will stay with us. Memories. If we can spend memories with each other, we'll keep that forever. And that is something you want to keep in the bank, isn't it? Good, healthy, happy memories of one another. And that's what we take. When someone has gone, you keep the memories in your bank. And they're what keep you through the good days and the bad days, aren't they?
Yep, definitely. Definitely. Make memories.
I think I'll leave us today. That'll be our quote for today. Just keep your memories, save your memories, and put them in the bank. So, guys, it's our last one next week. Then the Lions ABC will be closed. I'm going to get warm for a couple of weeks because it's blooming freezing up here. But we'll see you all soon. We've got James from Straight Talk coming on Black Country Extra this week. He's going to be talking about his journey with alcohol addiction. So it'll be an interesting one. So, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. To roll a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.